So next will be the form for adding students. So we'll design the forms this way. You'll have a few labels for title and headings this way. Then you have JText field. Then this one will have JText area because the address we should allow them to insert multiple lines. So we use JText area instead of JText field. The next one is we should not ask the user to key in the class by ID or the cohorts. This one cohort. So we should load the cohort table from the database and put them here for the user to select. That's why we'll populate that form. And I think we'll perform this one first. So now we're going to get to the code over here, and that one is the form login. Oh, sorry, form add students. So for this one, I'm going to I have the title here, so I will not add the label for that. So I have first label for student name. I will not add user to insert the student ID because student ID right now we are using auto increment. Then I'm gonna right click on this one on address. Then the next one will be the cohort. So we will use a text field. This one where is a text field for the name. Drag it out a bit. Right click on. Just do that one. We'll do another text area for the address. Drag it here a bit. Come on. Drag it here a bit. Then we'll use our combo box because this one is a selection box for user to select. User will not key in that. So we'll use this one for the cohort. Drag it out over here. Then you may have a button to let's say edit text. You won't be able to add it here, or you will just cancel or cancel by closing the form or clear the form, but that one is not that important. So I'll just add then. So I'll right click on this one, edit text, delete that. Oops, right click on this one, edit text, delete that. Then we'll do right click on this one, change variable name, txt student name, and right click on this one, change variable name, txt student address, or just name and address. Just address. Just because this form is for student anyway, so I will just remove that. Is because there should not be any conflict. Next one for the cohort, I'm going to CBX cohort, and this one we should have a button change variable name btn button add. Okay, then the first thing is that we need to load all the cohorts and store into here for user to select it. So for that we need to access to the database, and in order to access to the database we're going to need to create a new DAO to access to the cohort. So right click on this one and we're gonna say new Java class, and we'll say cohort handler to handle data about cohort. So for this cohort, we'll need to have int chi. Okay, chid private. A little bit slow. Okay, this one is private. Private string cohort name. Sorry, this one should be the handler. So we need to have private. We need to have SQL utility. Just a bit slow. The handler should have the private SQL utilities, SQL util, and whenever we create a new one, auth insert for constructor, we'll create a new SQL util equal to new SQL util. Then the next step will be we need to have our public list. This one is our Java's utility list, enter there. List our cohort. We'll get or load get cohorts. Then we're going to write our string. Oh, this one we need to import. Click on that, import from business objects that we created before. String, we'll just do list cohorts. Results equal to new array list cohorts. We'll return array list from Java utilities. Okay. Then later on, we'll return this result with empty list if there is now. But then now we'll do string cmd equal to select cohort ID, cohort name from cohort. Then we're going to execute this statement by using the SQL utilities, and it's going to return us a result set. Okay, rs equal to SQL util dot execute query, and that is the query that we want to execute. Then while rs dot next, if there is data, then we're going to surround the statement with try catch. Okay, then if we're going to get the cohort ID, so we'll have int cohort ID equal to take the result set dot get int, because it's an integer, and the column name that we select out here is cohort ID. Similarly, we'll have string cohort name equal to rs dot get string from the result set, and the column name is cohort name, which is this one. So actually what happens is that we are trying to run this SQL statement in MySQL with some default data over here. Then by default it's pointing to this. We call next, it will point to this. We call to next, it point to this, call to next, it point to this, call to next, it will return 4. So let's say if we first time we call to next is point to this, you get integer from ch id, it will return 1. So you get integer from ch id or cohort id, it will return this value, which is an integer. Then you get the string from cohort name, it will return this form to 2021. Okay, so you have the ID and name. You can create a new cohort equal c equal to new cohort, okay, with the cohort ID and cohort name. Then you're going to take the results dot add that cohort into the list and continue. So after having this, you should be able to get all the cohorts from the database. Okay, or if it's nothing, then you will get empty list over here. Okay, now get back to the students. After having that whole list, you should be able to load that into the items over here. Okay, and Java use MVC motor, which means motor, view, and controller. So you need to create a motor for this ComboBox to store the data. So we're going to click on this source. Then we at the top of the program, we're going to create a function which is private void populate cohorts. Then from here we are going to create our list. We'll create a cohort standard list cohort. So we'll need to import this list first. List util. then cohort control space from the VO, cohorts equal to new cohort handler, cohort handler, because that cohort handler will have s2 okay, dot get the cohorts there. So when you have all the cohorts, we'll create ComboBox motor, ComboBox motor. Okay, and this one will create a CBX motor equal to new default ComboBox motor. Okay, and from here we're going to set the data. Okay, so when we create this default ComboBox motor, if you do control, you should be able to set an array of objects here as the items for that ComboBox motor. And we have the cohorts over here, but it is in form of a list. We need to convert it in form of array. So we'll do cohorts dot to array. Yeah, then you'll have that array object. Then what else? We'll set it. So we'll have cbx cohorts dot set motor. Then we'll set cbx motor over there. Then at the constructor down here, after initialize or creating other components, we now populate the cohorts. Populate the cohorts. Populate cohorts. Enter. Okay. So it reruns this form by now. But before that, I was switching the login to on. Now I think I will just switch it to off. It's on, it's okay. Just put it there. So we'll try to be patient a bit, and then I will switch it off later. Because by now, just let us have a sense of secure with the login. So later on when we're okay with it, I'm gonna switch it off for testing purposes. A account, and the password is pass. We'll log in. Okay, now we'll manage. We click on add. We'll see from here. Now the cohorts, they already loaded the 3 cohorts, but the display is in kind of strings form, because it's actually display the address or each of the cohort object. So I need to convert this one into string, cohort into string, so that it's going to be able to display there. So what we'll do from here is that we're going to get into our cohorts here, which is business option. I'm going, oh, just cohort, not that. So I think I'm gonna close all this, that, click it here, open cohort, and I will provide one more method beside the basic get and setter. So alt insert, I want to overwrite a method. Then I will select the toString method. So I'm going to convert that string, that object to string. So I simply return the name. So I'll do get name of this, get ch name, get the cohort's name. So if we execute this one, Okay, now if we're trying to add, this will add this to login. So a account pass, okay. Then you do manage add. Now it's okay if you wanna, and now you see the cohorts already loaded appropriately with their name there. Okay, with the name there. So the next steps, what we want to do is that we're going to perform the actual add students. in the next step.